Hi everybody, thanks for joining Create with Dee. Today we're going to make a little home decor item. It's a frameable 5x7 and this is called Home with the Interchangeable O. And how it works is that we create the base in such a way that the O has different motifs. So I'm going to just show you here like how it works. Again, you can just make any type of element to replace the O depending on the season and depending on your interest on it. In today's video, it's just about setting up the HME, and then you can check out my blog on what I used for the interchangeable O and what I used there. But today's video is getting our frame all set up. Let's get started making our home with the interchangeable O. So for our base, for our frame, what we're going to need is a frame that's for a 5x7 photo. And I found this particular frame at Walmart at the time of the video. It was $4.22. And what we want to do is open it up and pop the glass off. And you won't use the glass. You can recycle the glass or repurpose it, but we want to be able to access the front of it, of course, to interchange. On mine, I'll just kind of give a little tip here. This one actually has a hinge, so you know it's not removable. And so when we get ready to put our Whisper White inside, we just want to make sure that we have it so our kickstand works. So, so take the glass out. That'll be the first step. And put that off to the side. And then we're going to take a piece of, this is thick Whisper White, and this is cut at 5x7. And what I like to do is give a little texture to the Whisper White in the frame. And so I'm going to use my Simply Scored scoring tool and score using the thicker one every ½ inch. And I've got the 5-inch side up along the track here. And you can use your Stampin' trimmer with the scoring blade on it too. I just absolutely love my Simply Scored because I can do this really fast. What I just did is I like switched it over on the last one because I can, it's a little difficult for me sometimes to get this ½ inch, and so I just kind of flipped it over so I could use the other side. Now what we have on here, and hopefully the camera is picking this up, is we've got not only horizontal lines, it's going to help us guide our letter placement, but it also gives just a little textural interest to the background. Okay, so now we've got our background ready. To make the letters, I am using the large letter framelits from Stampin Up, and we want to just use, of course, the H, M, and E, and I'm going to die cut this out with basic black cardstock, and the letters are raised just a little bit. Again, I wanted to bring it a little dimension for the project. And so what I did is I got some of this craft foam, these foam sheets, pretty inexpensive at whatever local hobby store that you might have. Again, I went to Walmart and had that, but I'll have some links there for Amazon in case, for your convenience on that. And what I found was with working with the foam, at first I thought, well, I'll just die cut out the foam letters, right? And what I found is when I just die cut the foam, that the letters kind of lost a little bit of their shape, and so they needed a little more structure. So that's why I'm using cardstock on top of the foam for it too. And plus I think that the foam actually might collect a little dust. So I'm using multi-purpose glue. And I've got a light touch, but I want to have a pretty good coverage on it. So I don't have it saturated. I'm barely squeezing it, but I want to get a nice coverage on it as well. Okay, so, and I think this is, I've got the piece of cardstock and the foam cut at 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, now it's ready for the big shot. All right, so I've got it loaded up on the big shot, and we'll get this die cut. It will be just a tad bit tight, but it's okay. The foam has some give, and that's going to be okay. So let's see what this looks like. So when you pop it out, now you've got this nice dimensional letter, and the foam is supported with the cardstock on top to retain the shape, and those just pop out. Okay, so now let's get ready to put that on our project. So with our 5x7 scored Whisper White, it's time to go ahead and put it into our frame. And you know, on this one, most frames you can, like this is totally removable. So this one's a little kind of wonky in the fact that it is attached. And so what I want to do, well, one, I guess there's two different ways that you can do it. You can either have it so that your score line is raised, you know, either embossed or debossed, whichever way that you like to have it. On this one, I think I'm going to have it where it's raised, just to give it some interest again. So I'm going to use multi-purpose glue. And again, the multi-purpose glue is going to give me a little wiggle room so that I can make sure when I close my frame that my lines are all straight. So I'm just going to go ahead, make sure I got good contact. And I could also put this on the backing of the frame. I'm going to put it on the Whisper White so that it's got the slide when you go to put it on. All right, so we'll get this going. Like I said, this one's a little kind of goofy. It's a little bit off. So you just kind of keep playing with it and sliding it. That looks really good. Okay, so once you have it where you'd like it, make sure it's covered. Yep. Give it a nice press. And now I'll go ahead and close up the frame. Now this is where it's what's really important in the fact that, like, this one has the kickstand on it. You just want to make sure that you have the orientation on your frame going with if it has the kickstand, because on my sample one that I did, I was just all excited about trying out the project, and my kickstand is upside down. So this one's going in a clear easel so that you can, you know, I can see it and everything. Okay, so now I know that this is the right way that I need to have it. And what we want to do first is just kind of position your letters where you think that they look good. And the reason why I didn't do this ahead of time and like say, oh, well, from your 5x7 orient it this way, is because each frame is going to be just a little different on the inside. At class, everybody had different styles of frames that they brought in for their own personal taste, and you know, to have a template all ready to go wasn't really feasible. So your frame, you want to pick that out first and then customize it. So on mine, I've got about a 6.5 inch opening, and what I found is that I like to have about 1/4 of an inch, or a 1/2 inch, I should say, from each side. So on the edge of the letter, I'm going to kind of get that started. And also, I found the heart from Sweet and Sassy heart framelits is a good size too. Before you glue down your letters, you also want to kind of put one of your embellishments in there. And again, this one's a pretty good, a nice average size, and it runs about 2 1/4 coast to coast, and then that might adjust these just a little bit too. So again, this project's not difficult, it's just a matter of kind of lining it up. Okay, I think that looks good. And then the benefit of having these scored is that you can use the score lines as a guide too to help make sure that you have it straight. A tip that I had seen my one of the classmates, what they did is they had their ruler out and they used that as well. So I'm just going to, you know, take a little moment here and play around with my positioning and get it all the way I want, and then I'll be back and we'll glue it down. Okay, I think this is where I want it. So we just want to go ahead and continue to use our multi-purpose glue. and get these down. Now we're going to skip the heart because this is going to be our interchangeable O. That's just there to keep our positioning that we want. So we're going to, again, skip where the O would typically go. And again, you can use your score lines that you have as a guide too. Get all of those going. Now what we want to do is add a magnetic strip to our home base that we did. So something like this. The magnet strip doesn't have to be pretty or anything because motifs are going to be over top of it. I found this roll of self-adhesive magnetic strips or magnet strips, and we just want to cut off a little strip of it. And even though it's got adhesive on the back, what I found is that these magnets don't really stick very well over a long period of time, and especially since we're having a vertical application. Okay, so this is going to be the spot that we are going to have down that all of our interchangeable O's will reside on. What I would recommend is that you consider using Sweet and Sassy, the heart framelit, and the red glimmer paper, perhaps, for an everyday home. You know, it's just, even though it's close to Valentine's Day at the time of this video, really, you know, this could stay up all year round. And, you know, again, I just kind of reinforced that red glimmer paper with a little chipboard on that one. You could use your leftover foam sheet as well. And I'll just kind of talk a little bit about the different interchangeable O's that I'm showing here today. Again, some of the details will be on my blog. You can check out the link below on that. On this particular interchangeable O, what I wanted to show is how you can use the layering oval framelits. I think that's a great set. That and the circle framelits, layering circle framelits, would be two great framelits to have for this project as well. And on this one, what I used was the retired stamp set and die set basket bunch. It was last year's bundle. Just wanted to show that I think many of us got this bundle last year, and it's a perfect example of showing how you can create a little scene. And so this one's all ready to go for Easter. On this one here, I used the stitched framelits. And this motif is from the Hold On to Hope bundle, and that's in the 2018 catalog. I used that to create this one. Again, one that you could keep up all year round if you'd like. Another one is with the, just using the butterfly framelits. And on this one, I really liked how this one turned out, and the fact that the black circle layer here, your eyes definitely read home with that, kind of acts to play as the O for sure on it with the roundness of it. And also to let you know that you can really go 3D with these. You know, so here it is, it really will pop out, and that's why we want to take the frame or the glass off of it. And, oh, and this is with the scallop circle punch on that one. Or no, this was with the layering circles, I apologize. Layering circles on that. And then on this one, a cute little springtime, I wanted to share with the girls and with you that, excuse me, is that, again, it can be 3D. You can really pop that out. And on that, what I used was the Daisy Punch and the Daisy Delight stamp set, as well as the Leaf Punch and the Holiday Catalog Carryover Painted Harvest, and used the leaf, the matching leaf stamp set, and we did a Stampin' Punch on the leaves. And so here's an idea going into spring. And then of course, oh my gosh, you guys, I just have to like say, our minds were just going crazy on everything that you can use this with. While I have the spring motifs here, it's something that you can do all season long. So you can change it out for summer, maybe put a beach ball there. For the interchangeable O, when it goes into fall, it could be a leaf, a pumpkin, wintertime, snowflake, Christmas tree. One of the girls were saying like, oh gosh, you know, you could put a family photo or a photo of a child there. You know, just any motif that you want. My family is very sporty, so I thought, oh my gosh, you know, you could make basketball, a football, a baseball, and do that for the different seasons too. So I hope you have as much fun making your home with the interchangeable O as what I did and as what my class girls did last night. And we're just all a little obsessed with this idea. I hope you enjoy making yours. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, everybody, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.